All right, at the top, I wrote this in there. All right, but we're just gonna go ahead and rewrite it. Volume. So I want everybody to put V equals. You're definitely gonna need a calculator. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the formula for volume of a prism, we say it is capital B times capital H. Now, when you write capital B, under capital B, I want you to write that is just the area of the base. H stands for the height of the prism. All right, H stands for the height of the prism. Now, there are all different kinds of prisms. Rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, cylinders, trapezoidal prisms, hexagonal prisms, all right? But they have one thing in common. The base, all right? I'm gonna show you right here. Look at number 1. First of all, I'm gonna draw this right here. And I'm trying to show you why that could be called the base. Please look up for a second. That could be called the base because it is parallel to this up here. Everybody see that? Now, the rectangular prism is unique because, look at this right here, please. Uh-oh. This right here could be classified as the base also, because if you notice, it's parallel to this base over here. So the rectangular prism is unique because any of the sides could be considered the base. All right. However, when you look at the next shape right here, this is called a what type of prism? That's right. Now, please just watch what I'm drawing. This right here is the only possible base. And the reason why I say that's the only possible base is because this is parallel to this wall over here. Some kids mistake this right here, as the base. But the reason I know that's not the base is because if I try to raise this up, is it parallel to anything on this side? No, it is not. That's why that is not the base. So what, does one of the triangles have to be the base? That's exactly correct. The base is the triangle, or the triangle is the base. What? Yes. Either one of them, actually. It doesn't matter. You get the same answer. All right. And I'm going to show you that because you asked me. All right. So everybody take a look at number 1 now. I want everybody to write rectangular prism. It's called a rectangular prism. And then where it says volume, I want you to just put capital B, capital H. Now, originally I said the green was the base. All right. So what is the area of the base? How would I find the area of the base? 7 times what? 4. And then what's the height of the prism going to be? 11. So I want everybody to do 7 times 4 and then times 11 and tell me what the volume is. How much? So we would say 308 cubic feet. Now, why is it called a cubic foot? Because look right here, guys. I'm going to draw a cube. And I want everybody to kind of watch what I'm doing. this is a cube. Now, why do they call it a cube? Because its dimension is 1 foot. This is 1 foot and 1 foot. Did everybody see that? Now look right here. How many of these, I'm drawing it to size, how many of these can fit into here? Bless you. How much? That is exactly correct. 308 of these little cubes can fit into that big rectangular prism. Does everybody agree with that? All right. Now I want to get back to what Maya was saying when she asked me, does it matter? Well, if I want to call the red the base, this was 11 and this is 4. So we could say volume equals 11 times 4, but then the height would be what? 7. So do me a favor on your calculator, go 11 times 4 times 7. And tell me what that is. Is it the same thing? Yeah, Maya, do you see what I'm saying now? Yeah. Order in which you multiply doesn't matter. That's why. Okay. So again, I don't think this is that hard. I don't think it's that hard. What makes it difficult is that you have to know the shapes and you have to know the area of the individual shapes. So I want everybody to take a look at number 2. What is that called? A triangular prism. So I want everybody to write that. Everybody's going to write triangular prism. And after you write triangular prism, all right, I want you to write the formula. Formula equals base times height. All right, everybody write that down. Well, no, we're almost there. Just watch what I'm doing. I'm going to show you because we have lots of practice problems. So the volume again is base times height. But what is the base shape here, guys? Triangle. What's the formula for area of a triangle? Yeah, that's what I would like for you to say. 1/2 little b, little h times capital H. Now, what's the difference between little h and big H? Little h is the height of the triangle, whereas capital H is the height of the prism. All right? Capital H represents the height of the prism. All right? So now that we know that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this real quick. And I'm going to bring it down here so we can see it better. All right. Now, volume equals 1/2. Somebody tell me what the base of the triangle is. What is it? Yes, 26. What's the height of the triangle? 28. And what's the height of the prism? 41. All right. So this right here is the area of the base. Now multiply that out, please. Say that again. 14,924. And then it was meters cubed. But I need everybody. All right, everybody do that. All right, so again, I don't think that's this isn't that difficult. So if we were looking at this, I'm going to go back to my box here. How many of these cubes can fit into this shape is what they're asking. Is everybody with me? There are 14,924. Everybody good? Yes. Okay, so listen, if you want to if you want to measure like the top of your desk, that would be area. If you wanted to measure the wall, you would say that's area. If you want to say how much space is in this room, you would say cubes. You with me on that? So again, I always try to show kids, I used to make my kids write an inch, then I used to make them write a square inch, and then I used to make them write a cubic inch. You see what I'm saying? And cubic is for 3 dimensions, area is for 2 dimensions, and length is 1 dimension. All right. So now somebody tell me what number 2 is, or number 3 is called. What's that called, guys? Cylinder. Does the formula change? Nope, it's just what? Base times height. But in this case, you have to remember, what is the base called? A circle. Now, you're supposed to have remembered what the formula for area of a circle is. What is it? What is it? Now remember, 2 dimensions. Area is 2 dimensions. Nope.
5 times the radius squared.
There you go. All right. So here we're going to say volume. Pi r squared times h. Pi r squared times h. Now you're supposed to look at the cylinder and you're supposed to say, what's the radius of the cylinder? 1.5. So volume equals pi times 1.5 squared. And what's the height of the cylinder? 9. So now please everybody type that in. Pi times 1.5 squared times 9. And then we always round to 3 decimal places.
63.600.
What is it? Is it, anybody else get that? And then we would say inches cubed. Inches cubed. All right, I just don't think that's that hard, especially with a calculator. Write the formula, do the substitution, and then let the calculator do the work. I don't have a problem with that. All right. So with that little bit of information, I want everybody to highlight 4, 5, 6, because those are similar. All right. I also want you to highlight 8 and 9. Those are just practice problems. Now, number 7, I want everybody to go to number 7. Do you remember what I called that when you break something down? What's that called? Starts with an N. That's right. It's called a net. All right. So it's just the 3D shape that is broken down. So you're supposed to look at that and tell me what 3D shape that is. Cylinder. All right. So I want everybody again to write cylinder. And again, I want everybody to write volume equals area of the base times the height. What is the base shape again? Circle. What's the formula for area of a circle? Good job, girl. Pi times radius squared times capital H. Everybody okay with that? Now you have to look at the shape and tell me what's the radius. So it's going to be pi 2 squared. And what's the height? 10. Beautiful. So everybody multiply that out. Very nice. Very good, girl. All right, it feels good. All right, you hear me? That's why I was trying to get you settled down. All right, you can get to do these problems. I just got to get you settled down. All right, very nice. Anybody have any issues with that? Anybody? That's not hard. Okay, now I want everybody to highlight 10. Then I need everybody to look at number 9 because it looks a little awkward. I want everybody to take this arrow and I want you to look 30 is this length this way. This is number 11. All right, so I need everybody to put an arrow because somebody thought 30 was the same height. It kind of looks the way they wrote it in there. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
So the 30, make sure you put an arrow. The 30 is that length. All right. I don't think that's hard. All right. So now highlight 11 and 12 because you're going to do those on your own. Okay. Now 13 is another, what do we call these? It's called a net. Now what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to identify what is the shape. If you can picture it being put back together, what's that called? It's called a rectangular prism.
Oh, we did this.
Uh-huh.
I don't get how to put it back together.
Okay, so it's just a matter of you visualizing something, right? So if I take this piece right here, I'm going to highlight it. And again, I understand your question. You're going to take this piece right there and you're going to fold it up. You're going to take this piece right here and fold it up.
So it's 9.
And then these wrap around it. You with me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Now, the volume again. I want everybody to write down volume, area of the base, times the height. But what's the base shape here, guys? I like saying this one is the base. Right? What is it? No, you're right. It could be, this can be called a rectangle, but precisely it's called a what? Nope, no. What's this shape called right here? Square. See, it's.
Wait, so what if it's called in 9 on the side?
Yes. So the area of the base would be 3 times 3. And the height of the prism would be what? The height of the prism. This is 5, right? That's the height.
Oh.
Did everybody see what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Now, sometimes I feel like some of you are not, if you're just writing things down, it's not helpful. So I understand the base is 3 times 3 and the height is 5. So if I multiply that out, that just gives me what? Now, notice they didn't put any units here. So you would say 45 units cubed. 45 units cubed. Does everybody agree? It's really not that hard. Evan, you doing all right? All right, so let's take a look at 14 now. Somebody tell me what this shape is called. Very good, girl. I'm proud of you. Trapezoidal prism. Now, why do you think they call it a trapezoidal? Because the base is a trapezoid. That's exactly right. It's called a trapezoidal prism. All right. Now, once again, does the formula change for volume? Base times height. Base times height. But now the hard part. Yeah, who remembers what the formula for area of a trapezoid was? Somebody did last period. I was kind of impressed. What is it?
It's like the 2 bases. So you add the 2 bases. Or no, I know. Yeah.
What is it?
Okay. Yeah. So you have the line in the middle. So it's 1/2 times height times width.
Maya, what was it?
Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 5. I looked it up.
Times the what?
Height.
Yes. Now, and then capital H.
Google says.
This is the same. Right? Yeah, it's the same. I promise you. So this right here, now look, guys, I need your attention. All right, that's the area of the trapezoid. Capital H is just the height of the prism. So this right here, make sure I say the average of the bases times the height. So this is the area of the trapezoid. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the trapezoid. I'm going to bring it down so we can see it better. Okay, Maya, What are the two bases of the trapezoid?
12 and 8.
Yes. 12 plus 8. What's the height of the trapezoid? And what's the height of the prism? The height of the prism. Shh. No. The height of the trapezoid is 10. Yeah, 22. All right, now look, there's not much I can do for you if you can't see that, right? This is base 1, base 2. This is the height times the height of the prism. Now, please be careful. All right, when you do this, do I really want you to do 12 plus 8 on the calculator?
No.
Don't do that. All right, just do 1/2 times 20 times 10 times 22. And everybody should be able to see that's what? 2,200. And what of our units? Centimeters. Centimeters what? Centimeters cubed. All right. So now please make sure you're doing it correctly on the calculator. 1/2. Type in 1/2 times 20 times 10 times 22. Yes, ma'am.
Why do you get a different answer if you type in 12 plus 8? Yeah.
Because you have to hit it equal. You put that in, you won't if you put it in parentheses. All right, let's do it.
I
Let's
didn't
do
put
it.
it in parentheses.
Yeah, you have to put it in parentheses. The calculator knows order of operation. So if you want, type in 1/2 times, come on,
Sorry.
you got it, with the parentheses.
A 1.
All right. 1/2, open parentheses, 12 plus 8, close parentheses, times 10 times 22. And
Yeah.
All right. That's why you have to be careful. All right. All right. Very good. Okay. So now what I want to do is we're going to now go into the harder problems, which are called composite figures. All right. So I want everybody to look at number 15. And we basically just describe this as a composite figure. Is everybody with me on this? Now, with a composite figure, I really would like for you to say it's just what? How many different shapes? It's just 2 different shapes, right? It's a triangular prism and a what? And a rectangular. I don't care if you do or not, honestly. I just want you to see it, right? If you can see it, it's not a big deal, right? Now, personally, what I think we should do is, I think we should find the triangular prism, then find the rectangular prism, and then what should I do to those answers? Add them together. All right? So again, we're going to write it twice. Volume equals base times height plus base times height. So what's the formula for area of a triangle again, guys? 1/2 base times height times capital H. All right, so I want everybody to look at the triangle and tell me what the base of the triangle is. And what's the height of the triangle? And then what's the height of the prism? That's right, 32. I'm proud of you. So now go ahead and multiply that out, please. And so the volume of the triangular prism is what? 2,560. Does everybody agree with that? Hello, people? You got the calculators. All right. Now, volume equals base times height times height. So what's the base and height of the rectangle? And then you would multiply that by what? Yes, you can do that. But when I'm looking at it from this perspective. You with me? But if you look at it from this perspective, it's okay also. Doesn't matter. So 20 times 10 times 32. Somebody help me with that. 6,400 in cubic feet. So altogether, the volume would be what? 8,960 cubic feet. He's a good boy. All right. Anybody else have any issues? Anybody? Yeah, you're just adding them. All right. So let's take a look at number 16. All right. I want someone to tell me what shapes do we see here? We see a yes, a rectangular. Look, guys, come on now. I never really understood why kids have trouble with this. Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have volume equals base times height plus base times height. But somebody said we have a cylinder, right? So what's the formula for a circle? Good. And what's the rectangular prism? That's right. Little b, little h, capital H. All right, now we got some issues here now. So I really need you to concentrate here. What's the radius? What's the radius of the circle? What's the radius of the circle? Come on, Jackson, you always know the answers. Come on, participate.
It's 1.25.
Right, 1.25 squared. What's the height of the prism?
8.
What?
3.5.
3.5. Let me show you why. Because here's, yeah, I know. That's why I'm showing you right now, kiddo. This is the height because it's the distance between the two bases.
Oh, I thought we were talking about.
You with me on this, right? Right, so I know this and this come together to make one cylinder. You agree with me on this? And then this, now can you see better? That's the height. You agree with this?
I was looking at it like 8.
No, I know. That's why you asked. All right, I'm happy with that. All right, now here's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. This right here is the base. So what is that dimension? Come on, help me. What are the dimensions? Yes, 8 by 2.5. And what's the height? 3.5. All right. So I need everybody now on your calculator. 1.25 squared, or pi times 1.25 squared times 3.5 plus 8 times 2.5 times 3.5. Yes.
75.400. So 469. What?
Anybody else get that?
No.
You don't have to get that. What did you get?
87.1. That's what I got.
87 point what?
I got Misha's answer. 85. Or no, 81. Yeah, I got 87.1. Not 81. 87.181. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got two different answers and someone agrees with both of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want everybody now, take your calculator out now.
Redo it.
You got to be careful.
Do we have to do
Pi. No,
Oh,
pi times. You guys forgot pi?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it because
That's all right.
I forgot it at first, but then you said pi.
All right. So do we agree it's 87 then?
Yeah.
But I want to wait till Misha gets the answer. I know, I'm waiting on you. It's not a big deal.
Please no.
Shh.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
87.
Right. Now look, guys, I'm just telling you. All right. I just don't think it's that difficult. All right. On 17, you have how many shapes? 3 different shapes. All right.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Does everybody agree with me on number 17? There's just 3 shapes. So it's volume equals base times height plus base times height plus base times height. Break them down. Is everybody agreeing with me? Now, your job is to finish up. All right? Your job is to finish up.
Even 17.
All of them, all the way through 17. When I'm going to call you to my desk tomorrow and say, let me see 1 through 17. All right? You got time. What time's the bell ring? You got 10 minutes now. All right? If you did 1 a minute, you could be almost done.
Oh, Evan, look.
All right?
He has an outfit too.
Let's go. Get to work.
Nine.
What?
Legally blonde.